मैम सेशन अवेलेबल नहीं शो हो रहा।
ओके मैं चेक। Now mark your attendance.
Ma'am,
Okay, so now started today class. What we studied in last class, have you remember? In last class, I think we discussed capillary zone. If capillary is available, then what is the effect of on effective stress, total stress, and pore water pressure? That portion is almost completed, and also we have solved some question on capillary availability. So today we discuss about what is the effect of water table fluctuation on effective stress. So if soil zone is present here, this is the soil zone. This one is the soil 1. This is the soil 2. Here is the A layer, here is the B layer, and here is the C layer. Height is also assumed. AB height is H1, BC height is H2. There are two different soil zones. Soil 1 and soil 2 have height H1 and H2. Okay. So now introduce water table level. So if water table is below CC, if water table is present here below CC, okay, then what is the effective stress, total stress and pore water pressure at layer AA, BB and CC before the water table and after the water table introduced? Is there any change in effective stress? So we can write here effective stress at AA layer equal to how much? 0. Due to no any soil pressure is act on A layer, no any external loading act, or also pore water pressure is not available. So every stress at layer AA is 0. That means effective stress also at AA is 0 before and after water table level. Okay, there is no change in this value. Now at BB, total stress is also introduced, also give here unit weight of soil is gamma 1 and gamma 2. Okay, gamma 1 and gamma 2. So sigma BB, effective stress at BB layer, this layer, how much? Effective stress at layer B,
Gamma 1 into H1.
gamma 1 into H1. Is there any pore water pressure? No. So effective stress is also equal to total stress, that is gamma 1 into H1. Similarly, what is the effective stress at CC? Effective stress at CC layer. How much? Effective stress at CC layer is the stress due to its own self weight. So gamma 1 H1 plus gamma 2 H2. This is the total stress at CC and there is no water pressure within H1 and H2 depth. So total stress equal to effective stress. That means if water table is introduced below the soil level where we have to find a stress, effective stress, then this water table level didn't any effect on effective stress. Okay, this value is clear. If now second condition is if water table is introduced, at CC level, at BB level, at this level. If water table is introduced at BB level, at this level water table is introduced, then what is the change in effective stress, total stress and pore water pressure? Capillary is not introduced in H1 height, so we can solve it easily. So if water table is at BB level, then what is the value of sigma AA? Effective stress at AA. Effective stress at AA is again 0. Pore water pressure at AA again 0. Pore water pressure is also 0. And total stress is also 0 at A. Okay. Now at B, at BB layer, what is the total stress? Total stress equal to gamma 1 into H1. Is there any pore water pressure at BB? Is there any pore water pressure? UV how much? UV equal to 0, because above the B layer there is no any pore water pressure, but below the B water pressure is also. So with within B to C we have to consider water pressure, but at B level water pressure is 0. So what is the effective stress at BB? Effective stress at BB how much? That is the similar gamma 1 into H1. Okay, point is clear. Next is the total stress at CC. Total stress at CC how much? Total stress at CC. So here also gamma 1 into H1 plus gamma 2 into H2. But here gamma 2 is now saturated. Gamma 2 is now saturated. So we introduce here gamma 2, that is the saturated gamma. In soil 2 zone, gamma is the saturated. Okay. So what is the value of total stress? So total stress we can write here gamma 1 into H1 plus gamma sat into 2 also, gamma sat into 2 into H2. Point is clear? This is the total stress. Now what is the value of pore water pressure at CC level? Is there any pore water pressure? Is there any pore water pressure at CC?
Gamma, specific gravity of water into H2 height.
That is gamma W into H2. Pore water pressure equal to gamma W into H2. So now we can write here pore water pressure at CC equal to gamma W into H2 height. Okay. So what is the effective stress at CC? What is the effective stress at CC? So we know effective stress equal to total stress minus pore water pressure. So what is the total stress? Total stress equal to gamma 1 into H1 plus gamma sat 2 into H2 minus pore water pressure, that is gamma W into H2. So what is the value? So we can write this gamma CC equal to gamma 1 into H1 plus gamma submerged into H2. This is the effective stress at CC if water table is introduced at B level. Point is clear? So we can see here change. If water table is not available, then what is the value of effective stress? And if water table is present, then what is the change? What is the effect on effective stress? Now, the third case we can consider if water table is at ground level. So this is the figure. This is the A, this is the B, and this is the C. Here is the soil 1, here is the soil 2. Now water table is available at A level. Here is the water level. Here is the water level, and also here is the ground level. Also here is the ground level. So now what is the effect on effective stress at A, B, C level? Height is same, that is H1, H2. If water table is present at ground level, that means soil is in saturated condition. So here also gamma sat 1, here is the gamma sat 2. In both zones soil is in saturated condition. So now we can write here total stress. Total stress at A. What is the total stress at A? Is there any stress due to soil? 0. Pore water pressure at A also 0. Above the A zone, above the A layer, is there any weight? Is there any water? No. At A, water is available. So effect considered below the A. Okay. So here also effective stress at A also 0. Now for B, sigma B, total stress at B level. What is the value? First, total stress at B is the gamma sat 1 into H1. Okay, this is the total stress. And what is the effective stress? Effective stress is the at B level. Pore water pressure is the gamma W into H1, and effective stress at B is the gamma sat into H1 minus gamma W into H1. So this value equal to gamma submerged into H1. Clear? Gamma submerged into H1. This is the effective stress at level B. Similarly, we can calculate if total stress at CC. What is the value of total stress at CC? Total stress at CC. In both zones, soil is in saturated. So we can write here total stress gamma sat 1 into H1 plus gamma sat 2 into H2. This is the total stress. What is the pore water pressure at CC? So pore water pressure at CC is up to height H1 plus H2. Zone is in saturated. So gamma W into H1 plus H2. This is the pore water pressure. Now we can write here effective stress at CC. How much? Total stress minus pore water pressure. Okay. So what is the total stress? Gamma sat 1 into H1 plus gamma sat 2 into H2 minus gamma W H1 plus gamma W H2. This is the value. Also, this value is modified as gamma Cc bar, that is the effective stress at C, is gamma submerged into H1 plus gamma submerged into H2. Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in this way we can calculate if water table is present or water table is varies from one zone to other zone, then what is the effect on effective stress and total stress if water table is fluctuate. Okay. Also we consider one more condition, that is if this is the soil 1, this is the soil 2. If water table is available above this zone at height HW, this is the A layer, this is the B layer, and this is the CC layer. So what is the effect? What is the effect on layer A, B, and C? Calculate everyone. At A, at B, and C, what is the value of effective stress, total stress, and pore water pressure? Water table is available above the A level up to height HW. How we calculate? Simply we can write here at AA layer, is there any overburden pressure? Is there any total stress? At A layer,
यहाँ पे भी टोटल स्ट्रेस 0 ही आएगा ना मैम, और फिर बाकी इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस ऑफ वाटर आएगा तो वो आएगा वैल्यू।
क्या आएगा टोटल स्ट्रेस एट ए लेयर? Is there any overburden pressure? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Due to water pressure is act at layer A. So what is the value of that pressure?
Ma'am, gamma W into H.
Gamma W into
H. HW, ma'am.
This
Yes,
is
ma'am.
the pressure act at the level A. Okay. What is the pore water pressure at A? Is there any pore water pressure?
Ma'am,
Is there
same
any-
ही होगा। Yes, ma'am. लगेगा यहाँ पे
Okay.
forward.
So water is also available above the A level. That means pore water pressure is also at level A, and the value is same, that is gamma W into HW. So what is the effective stress at AA? Effective stress at A?
0 हो जाएगा मैम।
0. That means total stress minus pore water pressure. So if its value is 0, effective stress is 0 at A. Okay. So now calculate sigma B. Total stress at B. How much? Soil condition also given here, gamma 1 and gamma 2 in saturated condition. At B,
मैम A to B का height नहीं दिया हुआ है।
A to B height is the H1, B to C height is the H2.
मैम गामा W into HW plus gamma sag into H1 plus gamma W into H1.
So at B, gamma W into HW plus gamma sat into H1. Okay, at B.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, what is the pore water pressure at B? Pore water pressure at B, that is gamma W into H1 plus HW. H1 plus HW. Okay. So what is the effective stress? What is the effective stress at B? Effective stress at B, how much? Sigma B. Sigma B effective stress equal to total stress at B minus pore water pressure at B. So total stress at B equal to gamma sat 1 into H1 plus gamma W into HW minus pore water pressure is the gamma W into H1 plus HW. Here we can write same condition, that is effective stress equal to gamma sat H1 minus gamma W into H1, that is gamma submerged into H1. This is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, we can write if total stress at C. Total stress at C, how much? Total stress at C is also gamma W into HW plus gamma sat 1 into H1 plus gamma sat 2 into H2. And what is the pore water pressure at C? So pore water pressure at C is gamma W into HW plus H1 plus H2. Clear? So what is the effective stress at C? That is sigma T C minus UC. What is the value? Effective stress at C.
Ma'am, gamma submerged into H1 plus H2.
Gamma submerged into H1 plus H2.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other answer?
Gamma submerged H1 plus gamma submerged H2.
Gamma submerged H1 plus gamma submerged H2. So we can sigma T minus UC. So what is the value of sigma T? Sigma T equal to gamma W HW plus gamma saturated 1 plus into H1 plus gamma saturated 2 into H2 minus gamma W HW. So this value we can cancel out this one. So H1 plus H2 gamma W or gamma saturated H1 and H2 only. So we can write here gamma, that is effective stress at C equal to gamma submerged into H1 plus gamma submerged 1 into 2 into H2. Okay. This is the final answer. Clear to everyone? So write a question. Write a simple question. A soil profile consists 3-meter thick layer of dry sand having G equal to 2.65 and E equal to 0.7 and effective size equal to 0.11 mm. A 4-meter thick clay layer is present beneath sand, have water content 40%, G equal to 2.7. Then the groundwater table is located at depth of 2 meters from the ground level. Then what is the value of total stress, effective stress and pore water pressure? Question is clear?
मैम क्वेश्चन एक बार और रिपीट कर दीजिए.
क्वेश्चन रिपीट करना है क्या? A soil profile consists of 3-meter thick layer of dry sand. This is the 3-meter thick layer of dry sand having G equal to 2.65, okay, E equal to 0.7 and effective size equal to 0.11 mm. 4-meter thick clay layer is present beneath sand. This is the 4-meter clay layer. This is the sand layer. Okay, this is the clay, this is the sand. So clay layer having water content 40%, G 2.7. So the groundwater table is located at depth 2 meters from the ground level. So here is the at 2 meter depth groundwater table is present. Okay. So what is the effective stress, total stress and pore water pressure at different layer? This zone is also considered capillary zone. This 1 meter depth is also considered capillary. Sand is present here, so in sand generally capillary rises. Area of strata is given also 0.5 centimeter square. First, we have to find gamma saturated, gamma dry for clay, gamma dry for sand, gamma saturated for clay, gamma saturated for sand also. What is the value of gamma dry for sand? Which formula we can use? Formula is gamma D equal to G gamma W divided by 1 plus E. G value is given, E value is already given, gamma W is known. So what is the value of gamma D?
मैम 15.40.
15.4.
मैम यहाँ पे डी का क्या काम है? मतलब सॉइल पार्टिकल्स.
D effective. Dharani, your voice is very slow.
Ma'am, 15.58 kilonewton per meter cube.
Okay, so what is the value of gamma saturated for sand and gamma saturated for clay also?